exploring the relationship between gentrification and race in Brooklyn. Gentrification is the process of increasing the value of a neighborhood to mainly conform to the middle class. Two pictures below are two pictures of examples of gentrification. What goes down? So typically, a developer buys a home or building and wants to improve it so they can make money. To do this, they force the seller to evict everyone in a building until it is completely vacant. They do not care how long it takes these people to find new homes. Monica Bailey is a black woman who lived in Bed-Stuy for 30 years. One day, a person she had never met before told her to leave her home and offered her $5,000 to compensate because the buyer of the building wanted it to be vacant. Monica had been courteous to the owners her entire life, but despite this, she was still asked to leave. She refused to leave, so the new buyer began to harass her by continuously texting and calling her and knocking on her door at night, telling her to get out. Monica told her neighbor about this, and her neighbor told the buyer that he would call the police if he used aggressive behavior. The buyer stopped harassing her, but began to turn off the electricity, heat, and hot water. Monica finally found a new place to live and was able to move out. Here are some of the opinions of real estate buyers on gentrification in Brooklyn. This is what Spike Lee has to say about gentrification in Brooklyn.
I grew up here in Fort Greene. I grew up here in New York. It's changed. And why does it take influx of white New Yorkers in the South Bronx, in Harlem, in Bed-Stuy, in Crown Heights for the facilities to get better? The garbage wasn't picked up every motherfucking day. When I lived in 180 165 Washington Park. PS 20 was not good. PS 11, Rothschild 294. So why the police went around? When you see white mothers push their babies in strollers 3 o'clock in the morning to 125th Street, that must tell you something.
And I know this speaks.
Whoa. And even more. Let me kill you some more.
Coming back. Can I talk about that?
No, not yet. And then the motherfucking Christopher Columbus syndrome. You can't discover this. We've been here. You just can't come and book us.
The numbers. What are the root causes, and what role does race play in this process? The preferential option for the poor. So this is the root cause because the real estate buyers who are facilitating gentrification in Brooklyn do not have a preferential option for the poor because they just want to make money and really do not care how many residents they displace or evict, and ultimately how many residents end up on the streets. Institutionalized racism. Institutionalized racism is a systematic oppression against people of color and is often made manifest in gentrification. The process of gentrification is systematically racist because it forces black people in predominantly black neighborhoods to leave their homes as mainly white people move in. As Spike Lee said, this improves the facilities in the entire area and it changes the culture. So it either causes these people to leave their neighborhoods, which they love, or it causes the neighborhoods in which they live in to change. Here are some of the population changes in Brooklyn from 2000 to 2010. The areas of Prospect, Lefferts Garden, and Gowanus are the areas that we saw on the chart earlier on the numbers page, and This increase in white people and decrease in black people shows that as the price of the house goes up, the increase and the decrease in the population alters. One of the buyers stated that gentrification involved better people versus low-income people. These better people are the white people with money, and these low-income people are the black people. These types of terms have caused a culture of racism in the real estate community as the owners of buildings try to conform to white people. Ethical analysis. So the first ethical tool that we will be using is the veil of ignorance. In the veil of ignorance, in John Rawls' social contract, you must imagine that you do not know your age, wealth, social status, or location, and think, would you want equality? According to this, gentrification is non-ethical because it is not an equal opportunity for both black people and people of color. The white people clearly, or between white people and people of color, the white people clearly have an advantage in this system. Utilitarianism is defined as the greatest good for the greatest number of people. This is ethical because gentrification advantages the majority or white people, and it also improves facilities for everyone. My stance. I believe that gentrification is a necessary process because it improves the quality of a city, but it should be controlled. Gentrification in Brooklyn has become a negative force in the borough, and there should be a way to improve facilities without an influx of white people and the removal of people of color. One person working towards a solution is Mayor of New York City Bill de Blasio, who recently changed the zoning policy in New York City so that private developers are encouraged to build more affordable housing that benefits both the lower and middle class. Despite protests, I believe that this is effective and it will bring about good change in New York City because it's a way to integrate both classes without completely polarizing black people and white people, like gentrification currently does. Thank you for listening. Have a good day.